Hey everyone, how's it going? Coming to y'all with yet another deck tech. I know. But this time I wanted to go ahead and come at y'all with Autumn Willow. This is one of my weirdest commander decks because I built it not because I really liked Autumn Willow, but because I really wanted a commander from Homelands. Years and years ago, I had a Baron Sengir commander deck. And it was Vampire Tribal, and it was really pimped out, and it was a great deck. All foil, signed cards from like Antiquities, and my Candelabra of Tanos got stolen. And I just, card prices have gone up so much, I definitely can't afford to just replace stuff like that. So I wanted to build another commander from Homelands, but I wanted this one to be a budget deck that can be friendly against stuff like Precon decks. And so Autumn Willow was born. This is actually a mono-green Bogles or hexproof type deck, where the entire purpose is to suit up Autumn Willow or one of my other Boggle effects / Boggle creatures with a bunch of auras and punch in for damage. It is not a very powerful deck by any stretch of the imagination, but it is fun, and it does actually win from time to time. So let's go ahead and go through who Autumn Willow is. She costs 4 and 2 green for a 4/4, if you can see that there. She says she cannot be the target of spells or abilities, so Shroud. And we can pay a green to have target player be permitted to target her until end of turn. We always choose ourselves. Like, there's never a time whenever we don't choose ourselves with this, because obviously we want to put auras and whatnot onto our Autumn Willow. So, let's move into the 99. For lands, we have one non-basic, and that's Mossport Bridge. That is it. That is the only non-basic in the deck, and then we have 34 forests. Nice and budget. Into the ramp section, I'm going to start out with the enchantment-based ramp because it's my favorite. We have Utopia Sprawl, Wild Growth, Wolf Willow Haven, Fertile Ground, Weirding Wood, and Overgrowth. Obviously, the most synergistic bits of ramp in the deck because they are enchantments and we have enchantment synergies in the deck. Soul Ring, you can't play Commander without Soul Ring. Gaias Touch, kind of a piece of enchantment ramp, but not really. This has been a pet card of mine for years, and for those of you who don't know, it's basically an exploration for mono green decks, but arguably a bit better. So we can play an additional land per turn as long as that land is a basic forest, but we can also sacrifice the Gaias Touch for the 2 green we paid for it later on when it ceases to be relevant. So, very nice. Can end up also just kind of, in a weird way, ramping us once. Play it on turn 2. Turn 3, play a land, sacrifice this, get 2 green. Now we have 5 mana on, turn 3. It's kind of interesting. Sakura Tribuilder needs no explanation, nor does Rampant Growth. Oop, if I can get some focus. Nor does Rampant Growth. Herald of the Pantheon cost reduces our enchantments by 1 and gains us life when we cast them. Nissa's Pilgrimage is a Cultivate or Kodama's Reach for mono green decks. That's actually better than those 2 in mono green. But then we also have Cultivate and Kodama's Reach as well. Sky Shroud Claim, just a solid card for any mono green deck because it essentially is 2 mana when you really think about it because the 4 is coming untapped. Moving into some of our Boggle effects. Alright, so we have Solana Ledgewalker. 1/1 for 1 and a green. Can't be blocked except by creatures with flying, and it has hexproof. One of our better Boggles, actually, for the early game. And then we have Glade Cover Scout, just a very simple 1/1 for 1 with hexproof. Dungrove Elder, another one of our best Boggles, because its power and toughness are equal to the number of forests we control, which is often fairly high, and has hexproof. Troll Aesthetic. Okay, 3/2 for 3 with hexproof that we can pay 1 and a green to regenerate. Not often relevant, but it does happen. Witch Stalker. 3/3 for 3 with hexproof, and whenever an opponent casts a blue or black spell during our turn, it gets a 1/1 counter. Fun stuff. Thrun the Last Troll, also known as the strictly better commander for this deck, but I don't care because he's not from Homelands. 4 mana for a 4/4. Can't be countered, hexproof, with pay 2 to regenerate. Easily one of the best, if not the absolute best Boggle in the deck. Slippery Bog Bonder is fantastic. It itself is a Boggle and can make something else into a Boggle. So, in a pinch, we could turn our Herald of the Pantheon or one of our Enchantresses into a Boggle if we need to. And it itself is a Boggle. It does indeed have hexproof. Siege Behemoth is a big Boggle. It's a Boggle with Leapfrog. So 7/4 hexproof, can assign damage as though it weren't blocked. Gaia's Revenge is kind of a boggle. Can't be countered, haste, and can't be the target of non-green spells or abilities from non-green sources. So it's mostly a boggle. Can still get Beast with End, but I don't know. Where else are you going to see this played? Kind of fun. That is it for the actual boggle package, because of course Autumn is always a boggle herself. Let's get into the auras. So Rancor, I don't think this needs any explanation. It's just one of the best auras for modern boggles, and I wanted to play it here. Sixth Sense is kind of like a Curiosity, but it has to be combat damage, which is fine for us. Then we have Keen Sense, which is literally a Curiosity, but in green. Spider Umbra gives 1/1 reach and Totem Armor, which can give us some board wipe protection. Treetop Bracers is fantastic because it essentially grants pseudo-unblockability, unblockable in a larger amount of games. Alpha Authority, yet again, makes the thing hard to block, but it can also turn a non-boggle into a boggle when we need it to be. Aspect of Wolf gives +*, where star is equal to half the number of forests we control rounded down for its power and rounded up for its toughness. So often it's just 2 mana gives something like +4/+4, which is honestly perfectly fine for a deck like this. Ancestral Mask, 2/2 for each other enchantment in play. This is one of the enchantments that goes the most crazy when put on a hexproof creature. Boar Umbra gives 3/3 and Totem Armor, needs no explanation. Snake Umbra gives 1/1 Totem Armor, and when it deals combat damage, whenever it deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. So it's another Curiosity effect, some more card draw. Vow of Wildness, we always put this on our own creature because 3/3 and Trample for 3 is a good rate, and we're happy to have it. Blanchwood Armor, let's see if I can, got a little bit of glare, I'm going to block that, sorry about that. Blanchwood Armor is fantastic, 3 mana to give it +X/+X, where X is the number of lands we control. It's just a better aspect of Wolf, but you know, why wouldn't you run both? Bear Umbra is the best Umbra, giving 2/2, and whenever it attacks, untap all lands you control, and of course, Totem Armor. Gaia's Embrace is a fun enchantment, 3/3 and Trample for 4, with pay a green to regenerate. We can basically turn one of our non-troll boggles into a troll, which is fantastic. Boon Satyr is always being used to bestow unless we're in a really, really bad spot. Oh, focus. Come on. There we go. Unless we're in a really, really bad spot, we always bestow this for 5 mana to give the Enchanted Creature +4/+2. But, you know, sometimes it does come down as a flash creature to block, and there are times we have to turn it into a boggle whenever we're desperate. You know, not a strong deck, guys. It's really not a strong deck, but it is fun, and I enjoy it. Here are some of my favorite auras in the deck, because where else are these going to see play? So we have Epic Proportions, 6 mana for an aura with flash. Enchanted Creature gets +5/+5 and has Trample. That's all. That's all it does. For 6 mana, 5/5 and Trample with flash. That's it. Then we have Prodigious Growth. For 6 mana, we give +7/+7 in Trample. Hard to get any more basic than that. Again, where else is this going to see play? Colossification. Love this. So for 7 mana, it taps down the Enchanted Creature, so we'll usually play this post-combat. Enchanted Creature gets +20/+20. That is so fun. So fun. Then we have Mythic Proportions, kind of an oldie. For 7 mana, we can give +8/+8 and Trample. Is it a good card? Nope. But we're on a Homelands commander with a Bogles theme. We're not trying to run good cards. We're trying to run fun cards that you don't see elsewhere. Then we have Eldrazi Inscription, probably the best aura in the deck, honestly. It's big, it's dumb, I wanted a place to use this somewhere, and it's probably my... it's responsible for the vast majority of my wins with this deck. Obviously easily removable, but hey, we're not trying to be strong here. We're trying to fight against some precons and lightly tuned precons. Home of the Gods, because yet again, where else am I going to play this? So 1/1 for each enchantment we control. Just a good way to pump the creature a little bit further. Into some removal, we have Beast Within, because it's a staple in green. Reclamation Sage, for much the same reason, though I'm finding myself switching to Gem Razor more and more. So this might actually get swapped out. Force of Vigor is a fantastic removal spell, and I opened a couple of them in my Modern Horizons boxes, so, you know, why not? 0 mana, kill 2 things. It seems great. Then we have some enchantment-based removal with Kenrith's Transformation, turning something into a 3/3 elk and drawing us a card. And Song of the Dryads, which is honestly one of the best removal effects we can be playing in mono green. No board wipes because I don't have it as a predation just to jam in this deck yet. Heroic Intervention. Oftentimes people want to blow up our cool big auras, and we have to say no, or we just want to survive a board wipe. So the intervention allows us to do that. Primal Order. Why am I running Primal Order in this deck? Because I wanted to. That's it. Because I wanted to. I had a signed copy. I wanted to play it somewhere, and I figured, why not play the signed Homelands card in the Homelands Commander deck? So it's 4 mana, and at each player's upkeep, they take a damage equal to the number of non-basic lands they control. So if you have 5 non-basic lands, you'll take 5 damage on your upkeep. We play 1 non-basic land, so it never hurts us. Nylias Colossus is our only, genuine game ender, aside from just suiting up in a Boggle with a bunch of auras and crashing in for the win. And this is obviously only good whenever we have done so, but I wanted a place to play it, and this seemed like the perfect excuse. Plus, it can be fun turning this into a Boggle. One Woolly Beast Tracker allows us to tutor for a Boggle. That's all there is to it. ETB, put a Boggle to the top. Some card advantage, we have Adventuresome Impulse, aka Green Ponder. One of my favorite effects for mono green. I actually play this in a lot of my decks. Kruvix's Insight can dig us 6 deep and find some enchantments. He usually finds us something we could use. Enchantress's Presence is just an Enchantress effect, as is Setessan Champion, as is Verdurn Enchantress, as is Eidolon of Blossoms. Harmonize is a classic 4 mana draw 3, kind of a staple in a lot of green decks. It's getting outperformed these days by a lot of other ridiculous card draw spells, like Rishkar's Expertise, which is probably the best card draw spell I've seen in a long time, and it has been ever since it came out. It is very, very rare this draws less than 5 or 6 cards, and then casting something for free, it's an insanely good card, and if you're playing green, you should be playing the Rishkar's Expertise. Then we have Regrowth, because sometimes our fun stuff gets blown up and we need to get it back. And Eternal Witness, because second verse same as the first, so put her in a plane so we can put him in a hearse. And that is the deck. It could not be more simple, it could not be more basic. It is just mono green hexproof with tons of auras to smack in for the win. No frills, nothing fancy. It's just an excuse to play with a Homelands commander. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, peace, and take care.